Welcome to another episode of the Louisville Bulls franchise, and the Bulls today take on the Indianapolis Colts. It's time to rock and roll, and today I want to do this, but we're wearing our ugliest uniforms yet. We're wearing our alternate uniforms, and guys, today is finally the day. I'll see you guys at halftime.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Colts and the Bulls. And it's coming up next on Madden Football.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the banks of the Ohio River and the world-renowned city of Louisville, Kentucky. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Bulls of Louisville. Hi again, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, joining you as always. And Charles, you check out this Louisville team. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Two weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. Leading them out, still one of the most recognizable QBs in the game and one of the most fun QBs in his 5th season. It's Gardner Minshew.
Even though the Colts went quarterback to start the NFL draft, they wanted a veteran under center this season. They tabbed Minshew as that guy. The mustache and the mullet are in the Circle City, and he is their starter.
They run with the All-Pro from a couple of years ago, Jonathan Taylor. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. Here's Minshew. That's caught by his tight end, Kylan Granson. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Well, the first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter, because that will draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting involved as this game goes on.
We take a peek at the list of inactives for this week's game, and gosh, this early in the season, Charles, injuries already accumulating for this squad.
You got to wonder, in this organization, are they just saying to themselves, well, hopefully we're just getting them out of the way early so we can make a late season push when we have everyone back? It certainly feels that way with the number of injuries they've had already.
Here is 3rd down and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Odafe Oweh. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. They'll be led out by a former most valuable player in the National Football League, the always dangerous Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. You look at this Colt defense. They enter this one down to the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, They are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
A yard, all they need, but it's 3rd down. They'll try and run for the first with Edwards. And he gets it down to the 32. A gain of 4 that time as the drive will continue.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, oh, he's a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They'll go back to Edwards on 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This now a 3rd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got him there complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Now a first carry for their fullback. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
Out of the gun, they give to Edwards. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But
And it's caught. Touchdown. Rashawn Bateman, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bulls use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. But down here, I thought they were going to hand that off. Instead, a well-designed play and the pitch and catch for the touchdown.
And I wonder who came up with it. Was it a call from the bench? Did the quarterback have a good idea and suggest it? In any event, clearly an effective play call. They saw something they liked in coverage, and they targeted it for the short yardage throw.
And the perfect way to cap their opening drive. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Again, it's Taylor. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. 3rd down and 13. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Pop a touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. The road ahead a little bit more difficult now after that pick six. So dealing with this deficit here, we'll see if he can try to make amends on this drive. 1st and 10. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. And this will be incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example. And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll start out here in the option left. And he'll get this across the 40 and up to about the 42-yard line. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down. You look at this Colt defense. Against the pass, they're toward the middle of the league, number 15 in the NFL.
Definitely going to need to be physical with these receivers, whether that's right at the line of scrimmage trying to jam them and bump them off their routes, or when the ball arrives and you go ahead and put your shoulder into them and try and knock it loose.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Here's Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a 1st down. Jackson options out left. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down. On the counter, it's Edwards. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. On 3rd down, Jackson. The throw right side here going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. For the Colts now, they're ready to get the football back. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Minshew's throw into the hands of Pittman here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Pittman's first catch, good for a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Minshew on 1st and 10. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They'll get 13 yards for the second play in a row. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Minshew going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked off by Ronald Darby. Down to the 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick 6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders is not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick 6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead is now 24. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. And the Colts coming out now. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throw left side, taken in by Pittman. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Minshew. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now, the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
But there's no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here's Mickens to return. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt. 6 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Minshew and the Colts going to come up here 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Now let's take it in by Downs. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Throwing on 1st down is Minshew. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And Minshew with nowhere to go, and they take him to the ground. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and that will come the offense as they take over. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Flush to his right. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Now on 4th down, they throw the deep ball, but it winds up to be incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position. And Gay knocks this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime, and what's no break needed. Let's get back
So
to
first half, that went really well for
three.
defense. On the offensive side, it really
And we welcome you back.
it didn't do much. I mean, we have scored only one offensive touchdown today. But Jackson 3 of 9, 19 yards. He did have the only touchdown. Lamar Jackson still our leading rusher. And Rashad Bateman was on the receiving end of the touchdown. Rashad Bateman from a 4-yard pass from Lamar Jackson. And then Darby. And Darby returned to interception. He's got 2 of them. One 34-yard pick six and a 65-yard pick six. Second half comes your way right now.
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. From his end zone, here comes Justice Hill. And he returns this to the 22. This offense ready to go to begin this 3rd quarter. They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. Shifts by him. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here's Edwards again on second down. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. They'll go with Hill here on first down. Nifty footwork at the 45. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Up the middle, here's Edwards. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 12 more yards there and another first down. And they run with Edwards off the option. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And they run the option on second down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bulls take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's trying to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Roquan Smith able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Now Jackson. And incomplete here to bring up 4th down as the rookie couldn't haul it in.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And you can tell just by looking at him that this offense is a frustrated unit. things are really unraveling here. And as a head coach, time to earn your paycheck. You've got to find a way to keep it together as that brings up another 4th down.
And taken right at the 35. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Edwards now on 1st and 10. He's got it to the 43 here.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Play action. It's Jackson. Pass taken in by his big tight end, and he's taken down inside the 30. They get 14 yards there and a 1st down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Again, Jackson will keep it. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield.
Holding. Offense.
And that's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. To throw is Jackson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. At that time, finally a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense.
Well, things obviously not going their way. Trailing here in the 4th quarter, and that penalty going to go ahead and give the other side some extra yardage.
We all know it's an intense game and things can get heated out there. That's part of the battle. But bottom line, you got to keep your cool. That was not an example of doing that.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. Off the option, here's Edwards. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Delay of game. Offense.
The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. So the delay of game penalty moves it back 5. That makes it 2nd and 10. Up the middle. It's Hill. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They run it again with Hill. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, this from 46. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. Indianapolis offense ready to go again. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Dancing to his left. And he gives himself up, but not before he gets the conversion. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Minshew, 1st and 10. He's got his man. It's Pierce. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. So here's Louisville set to take over on offense. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. And he'll rumble for about 5 up close to the 40.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Ball on the 39. Here's 2nd and 5. Jackson going to keep it running right. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately.
Holding. Offense.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They go play action with Jackson, sliding out of the pocket. This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down. Now a handoff, Edwards. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 85 yards rushing for him now to this point. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Here's Edwards again on 2nd down. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And now this ball picked up by the offense. But here in the final 2 minutes of the game, this will be blown dead. Only the fumbler can advance the football, so this will go back to the spot of the fumble itself. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. These kickers now, used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
It'll be a touchback. The ball brought out to the 25 as Mickens will not return it. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Here's Minshew.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
It'll be Minshew again. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
Talk about two sides of the ball at cross purposes, because mercifully this game's almost over for the offense, but the defense, they still want to get a few shots in. That front seven, they've loved this ball game. They've been able to pad their stats, and maybe some backups can get in and get a sack as well.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is fielded at the 27.
That's the game.
Charles, a lot of happy
The
faces
Bulls
heading into this
dominate
one. This
and
was
a
an
40-3 victory over the Indianapolis Colts.
Their offense was on fire.
They're one
in
and
this
run.
ball game.
By the way, the Colts won a one record.
What
Was
the
a
top
fluke.
speed is all those high-end sports cars. What's the top
A big
gear
win
you can
for
get into?
the
This
Indianapolis,
offense,
or for the
they certainly
Louisville
were there in
Bulls.
this one, huh? Everything clicking
Louisville
for them in this
Bulls.
contest, the kind of performance.
We'll get you some stats. Lamar Jackson, we did not, and he went 5 of 13, 60 yards and a touchdown.
On the young season. And they will hit
Gus
the road
Edwards,
next week for
17 for 85, but Lamar Jackson, 13 for
Meanwhile,
30.
Indianapolis, they'll fall to 1
And Justice
2.
Hill got a couple of
And
runs.
they'll get a chance to redeem themselves
4 for
at
26,
home
and
next week.
Ricard, 1
Thanks
run for
tuning
1
in,
yard.
everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank
Receiving,
our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Bateman,
This is
2
the
for 9 for the
NFL
touchdown.
on EA Sports.
And Likely, Collar, and Hill all had 1 reception. The scoring summary: Darby with 2 pick sixes. How about Justin Tucker? 1, 2, 3 50-plus yard field goals today. He went 4 for 4 on field goals. Yes, Tucker went 4 for 4 on field goals. Longest field goal was the 59-yarders. I say yarders because he made multiple of 59. So, that will be the end of this video. 40-3, once again, the final score from Louisville. Thank you for watching, everybody. Like, comment, and subscribe if you could, please.